Hey yo, how you guys doing? Do me a favor before we get started on this whole thing, right? Subscribe, like, or hate, and share this video. Um, we're trying to get our numbers up. Thank you very much, and enjoy this broadcast. Yo, what's going on, America and the rest of the world? Seeing Jay Hobson here, the Brilliant Artist Movement, and this here is another episode of the Devil's Advocate, a segment of Hell for Leather News, brought to you by the Brilliant Artist Movement. So I was looking at a great interview yesterday. The site that I was on was called Stamina for Sale, and there was a couple of British fellas on there. Guy by the name of Tunde Ayaye, or Aya, something to that effect, and another gentleman by the name of Spencer Ferran. These guys are boxing guys. Ferran is a British fight promoter and former boxer, and Ayaye is a former boxer, and currently he's a boxing trainer. And I take it that, him and Ferran are probably working together. They definitely work together on this podcast. So what I found interesting, what made me look at the broadcast, was because these guys got Mark Breland to come out of silence and give his response to some of the things that Deontay Wilder was saying about him. And it was a great interview. And I'm going to put the link to the site in my remarks section, and you guys can check that out. Mark Breland basically defending himself from the allegations that Deontay Wilder was making, basically saying it was nonsense. Another thing that I took away from that interview was Mark really didn't care for Lloyd Huntington, and even though he might respect Floyd Mayweather as the businessman that he is, Mark could definitely take Floyd or leave him as a fighter. Mark Breland saying something to the extent of, well, it's real easy to win a bunch of championships and have a undefeated record when you pretty much picking and choosing the guys you want to fight. Mark Breland even going as far as to say when Ferran and Ayaye, or Aya, asked him who would he like to fight from the past, Mark even said it would be Floyd Mayweather. Mark's suggesting that he would hit Floyd in that right shoulder of his. But we all know that Floyd Mayweather would never fight a guy as tall as Mark Breland, because again, that's Floyd is a smart guy, and he's not going to take no unnecessary chances. But I said all that to say this, right? The subject of Floyd Mayweather and Parnell Whitaker fighting came up, and of course Mark Breland was riding with Parnell Whitaker, and then the conversation about the sparring session between Floyd Mayweather and Parnell Whitaker came up. And although they didn't touch on it in this interview, often enough, when I've heard about the sparring session between Floyd Mayweather and Parnell Whitaker, the first time I ever heard it, I seen Floyd. Floyd was the guy that was talking about it. And second, you kind of sort of get the impression that Floyd Mayweather might have got the better of Parnell Whitaker during the sparring session if you were to hear him tell it. And I want to debunk the notion of Floyd Mayweather getting over on Parnell Whitaker when he was a young kid. And the reason why I want to debunk the notion of that is this. One of the things that I know about boxing, although I wasn't a world champion or anything like that, one of the things I know about boxing is if you stick a guy like Floyd Mayweather in the ring to spar with a guy like Pernell Whitaker, and Floyd is just up and coming kid, Pernell Whitaker is not going to go, full blast. More than likely, Pernell Whitaker was allowing Floyd Mayweather to work, build his confidence up, mess around with him a little bit in the ring. But no way that Floyd Mayweather was in there going at it full throttle with Pernell Whitaker. And for him to suggest that he was, I just want to point out that that's bullshit. Now, this isn't to, take a stab at Floyd Mayweather, because again, I've been watching a lot of Floyd Mayweather's old fights, been checking out his documentaries, and Floyd Mayweather actually grew on me. There was a time when I actually would have thought that Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker, Benitez, Duran, and all of the other greats would have blown Floyd out of the water. But I don't feel that way now. Now, this isn't to say that I believe that Floyd Mayweather would beat any of those guys. I just believe that from what I saw of Floyd Mayweather, he was a very competitive fighter, especially at the lighter weight divisions. And I think he's capable of holding his own against anyone, especially at 135 and 140. So with that said, no need for this to be a long broadcast. I don't think that Floyd Mayweather got over on Pernell Whitaker when they were sparring. I believe it was more the case of Pernell Whitaker, the seasoned professional, extending a courtesy to Floyd Mayweather, the up-and-coming amateur kid who grown into being the superstar that he is. I'm done with it. Bam!